like to tell everyone how much I appreciate you coming out tonight. We have a very good crowd, especially with the weather being what it is. I didn't know if we'd get blown away before I made it through the door this evening, but we're really glad to have all of you here. I'd like to introduce our guest at the head table. We have Warren Nunn, Chairman of the Board of our Trustees, and his wife, Eleanor. We have Earl West, members of our Board of Trustees, and his wife, Carly. Also like to introduce Dr. Fan. I'd also like to introduce Randy King, our Chief Financial Officer, and his wife, Leanne. I'd also like to introduce Rick Fulton and his wife, Vicki. And I'd also like to introduce the boss's boss, Nancy Torrance. I'd also like to thank Rose Sumrow, Janice Reed, and Linda Hollick for planning and setting up the award banquet tonight. So if you show our I'd also like to thank Janice Reed and the Department of Food and Nutrition for preparing this delicious meal. Thank you. And also to our volunteers from the high school for help setting up our meals. Thank you very much. Our guest speaker is the owner of McKelvey Baker and Associates Human Resource Management Consultants. McKelvey Baker is located in Memphis, Tennessee, with affiliate members in Little Rock, Arkansas, and Asheville, North Carolina. He also is owner of Attila Video Productions Incorporated, a training video and handbook publication company specializing in business training and products and video programs. He has over 14 years of human resources and organizational training and development experience, having served in management positions with manufacturing organizations such as Meat Corporation. He received his Bachelor's of Arts degree from George Mason University in Virginia and attended Business Graduate School in Lynchburg College, also in Virginia. Upon graduation from college, he co-authored a children's play which was produced at Wolf Trap Theater in Washington, D.C. He is a published author. Publications include Training Magazine, when in 1985 he wrote about the consultant's role in management consulting. He is married. He and his wife Vicki currently reside with their daughter Catherine in Covington, Tennessee. Please join me in welcoming Richard Fulton.
Thanks for saying all that about me, Bill. None of it's true, but it reads well. It's okay. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here this evening. Before I get started with my remarks, I have to confess I'm in a little bit of a tizzy tonight. Some of you in the room know me. I was prepared to speak for an hour and a half. So I'm going to have to hatchet up my, I just must have misunderstood. I'm sorry. That's why I was so excited about being asked. So I'll try to wing it, and I apologize. True story before we get started about Mr. Torrance, Bill Torrance. All of you here know him, and I've gotten to know him because I have done some work here at the hospital over the last few months. And what I'm about to tell you, I think, is a pretty good example of Bill, Mr. Torrance's creativity, his ingenuity, and probably a good insight in his creative management skills. Faced with a dilemma, how do you deal with it? Probably midway into my assignment, here doing some training and development work, Bill asked if I could take him home. He had some car trouble. I think it was his 58 Packard. I'm sorry, which car was it? But had some car trouble, and the car was towed in, I think, earlier in the day. And Bill, near the end of the day, in fact, I had another appointment, but I graciously said, sure, I'm all the time in the world, I can take it. So about 6 o'clock that evening, after we finished here, took Bill not too far from here, took him home. And I assumed I'd just drop him off and go on my way and unwind from a tough day, and we'd go our separate way. But for some reason, I didn't really know at the time, but Bill was sort of insisting that I not leave right away. I thought, well, maybe he wants me to meet his wife, the boss. I don't know. But anyway, finally we moved out into the backyard, and he brought out a dog, and he started throwing the frisbee. And the dog caught it every time. I mean, does everybody know about the dog and the frisbee? Anyway, I thought that was neat, and we were still waiting around. And then finally, I met Bill's wife, the boss, and just as I was about to leave, I finally understood what the point was. Bill's wife went back in the house, and as I was getting into my automobile to drive on my way, he said, listen, Rick, you do a lot of things. You got this going, you this and that. Look, I've got a son that's about a year away from college, and I need your help. Would you be my dog's agent? Or would you do something in your training and development activities and build an act around my dog and make some money with him, because we need the money. We've got a son. And I finally figured it out. And I also learned his car wasn't broken down. His wife drove up in the car that was supposedly broken down. The moral of the story is the guy's fairly creative, and he figures out a way to get things done. And the dog starts at what, next 2 months from now, right after the first of the year. And you'll have to start paying to see the dog. I think his son is here tonight. True story. True story. It is a pleasure to be here this evening. And a real pleasure because I've been here, as I said earlier, a couple months. In fact, kind of a nice pleasure to see so many people that I've gotten the opportunity to meet and know and see in classes that are going to be honored or are being honored this evening. And it's a neat treat for me to be here because this has been a very, very, very good assignment for me. It's a nice organization, and I mean to use the word nice. Good people, caring people, and you can walk in, and I've been in a lot of different organizations over the years, and an awful lot over the last year or two, and you can walk into certain organizations and sort of feel the culture, feeling of how things are, and this organization just about screams it out very loudly that we're a decent group of people that are committed to doing the right thing in whatever it is we do. It's been a nice group, so I'm very honored, and thank you for asking me to speak tonight. All of you at Baptist Memorial Hospital Lauderdale are very, very fortunate, because you're lucky enough to work for an employer or an organization that chooses to recognize service, year service or service years. All employers, organizations, companies, whoever, whatever it is we work for, they always expect it, and they have to. Organizations always expect service from its employees, but not all organizations formally recognize service. You're very fortunate. The Baptist Memorial System does, and for this group especially, I think it's a fitting honor, because you all of you, whether it's your night tonight or not, deserve that kind of recognition. But just for a few minutes, I want us to think about something. Think about this. What if no one, this organization, what if an organization, Baptist Memorial Hospital Lauderdale, what if we didn't formally recognize service? What if no organization ever did formally sit down, evening away from the hustle, the busyness, the day-to-day, the headaches, the challenges, didn't recognize in any organized fashion service? What would that mean? What if there was no tonight? You know what would happen? Service would still be recognized, and probably in just about as meaningful a way. There would be recognition. It would come, maybe not from the organization, but very definitely would come, as it does now, from individuals. First of all, obviously, from the individual, whoever you are, doing whatever it is you do. Secondly, from individuals or the peer group, the group that you work with, whatever it is they do compared with what you do. And finally, recognition from individuals with whom you come in contact. Call it your customer, patients, outsiders, whoever it is that you come in contact with in your day-to-day doings. Even if organizations didn't say thanks, didn't recognize, didn't have an evening like tonight, recognition would come. And you know why it would come from the individual? Because human beings, all of us, want to succeed and want to win. Even if we work for an organization, unlike this one, that doesn't recognize that winning way or that winning attitude. It's internal. Sure, we like to be thanked. We like to have evenings like this, but even if we didn't, I believe individuals would still find ways to recognize service. Day-to-day, individually, one-on-one. It's internal. However you define it, people want to strive and measure up to standards, high standards. You know, business literature, current business literature, full of systems, training systems, how-tos, TQM, some of the other buzzwords we've heard, styles, explanations, how this is done, how that's done, how to be more successful as an organization, how to be more successful as an individual. Even without any of that or all of that, people internally would still find ways, without any of that, to recognize service, day-to-day, individually. Perhaps this is why human beings doing the right thing focus on three basic things, or three objectives, perhaps you could call it. First of all, those people that provide good service, that want to be winners for the organization, for themselves, first of all, they focus on others. Secondly, those people do more than is necessary. And thirdly, they assume it, whatever it is, the job, a task, they assume it can be done. Before I explain those three in a little bit more detail, let's revisit again. Why are we here this evening? This evening we're here to recognize 14 individuals who represent 215 years of service. If my math is right, and if it's wrong, forgive me. 215 years of service and experience. Service and experience. We're recognizing, rather more appropriately, we're honoring 14 people who through their individual effort have combined to help make this hospital, this facility, a leader in what is absolutely a very competitive market. The Memphis and this whole market is absolutely one of the most competitive, I think, in your field. Yet that group, 14 individuals, 215 years of service, helping to make this a successful operation. Let's go through the points. Focus on others. Number one, focusing on others. Don't be selfish. Whatever your job or your role, whether you're recognized for service or not, don't be selfish. Whatever it is you do day to day, focus on others. Today's business reading and the various topics that we can read in magazines and literature refers to that as pleasing customers, dealing as you should or meeting the goals of customers. In fact, and I believe this hospital is into the current TQM or Total Quality Management efforts refer to that as stress relationship with both internal and external customers, do whatever it takes to meet their requirements, etc. Very hot topic at TQM. Set your goals to please the customer. Obviously, internal customers would be department to department. External customers, in our case, would be the patient, and perhaps you would also define external customers as your medical staff. But whatever, focus on others. Call them customers, call them internal customers, external customers, doesn't matter. Keep it simple. Focus on others. Another phrase used, and this is probably just as familiar, more familiar, and we've heard it said before, for do unto others. Is that familiar? Real basic. Second objective of winners, people that succeed, whether they're formally recognized or not, do more than is necessary. When's the last time any of us in this room spent some time with a person that works with us, perhaps, that you consider to be an achiever, a doer, a winner? Good person to be around. Someone seemed to get a lot of things done in spite of being busy. Somehow, busy as they were, they always got more done than they did yesterday. Think of somebody like that. Did you ever hear them say, that's not my job? Did you ever hear them say, that's not what I'm supposed to do, that's their job? Truly? Do more than is expected, without complaint. Achievers do more than what's expected for others, whether it's our customers, internal, external, and they do it in a cheerful way. They see it as a challenge, and they continually challenge themselves to do more tomorrow than they did today. This person automatically finds little ways to do more for others, whoever the others are. Customers, co-workers, peers, the boss, whoever, for themselves. And finally, the third rule, objective, or trademark or hallmark of the individual that's a winner, whether they are formally recognized or not, is assume that it can be done, whatever it is. A task, a job, a challenge, an assignment, a new assignment. Assume that it can be done. For the achiever or the doer, they rarely will set about to do a task thinking about failure, even if failure comes. Rarely. They always will set about a task assuming it's doable, assuming the mountain can be climbed, assuming the patient can be healed, assuming that task can be done on time in spite of the obstacles that appear out in front of them. Today's business literature, again, tries to complicate it and refers to that as paradigms. We may have heard that if we've been through some of the TQM or Total Quality Management training. Paradigms. Or what was realistic and thought to be fact today may not be so. Or knowledge as it currently exists is changing constantly. Assume it can be done. One paradigm example, I'm sure in your profession, is what just a few years ago would have taken inpatient stay and truly invasive surgical procedures, and the examples you can name better than me, can be done today outpatient with laser technology and so forth. Somebody somewhere had to assume it can be done. That's how things change. That's how our businesses get better. For the individual, whether they are formally recognized, as you all are tonight, to be a service provider, to be a quality individual, those three basic attributes are always going to be found. They focus on others, they do more than is necessary, and they assume that it can be done. Wrap all three together in a package, and that person is not only a pleasure, but they're probably exciting to work around. And how neat to have fun and excitement at the job. What a novel idea, but how neat. Robert Louis Stevenson said, "To be what we are and to become what we are capable of becoming is the only end in life." Or modern-day author Michael Korda puts it, "Success on any scale requires one to accept responsibility, and in the final analysis, the one quality that all successful people have is the ability to accept or take on responsibility. Focus on others, do more than is expected, assume it can be done." You see, even if we weren't here tonight, even if this organization, Baptist Memorial Hospital Lauderdale, didn't care enough or just didn't do any kind of employee recognition, individual contributors would be able to recognize service, and especially if those three hallmarks were evident. Individuals make up the total. The peer group, coworkers, customers, etc. would recognize that kind of service. Tonight's the culmination of that day-to-day, day in and day out recognition that's going on anyway. The achiever, the doer, the successful contributor, they're around us, and we're surrounded with them tonight. And I've had the opportunity to meet several of you being honored tonight. And again, you're fortunate that the organization takes the time and effort to recognize you. And as I have met you and dealt with some of you over the last few months, all of you fit the category of the person focuses on others, does more than is necessary, and believes certain things or all things can be done. All of you that I've met meet that category. Tonight's not so much an award for employee service years, although we note that, but rather a recognition of outstanding contribution over the years. As you continue your career, I encourage you to continue focus on others, do more than is expected, believe it can be done. Congratulations to all of you, and I thank you very much for asking me here tonight. Congratulations to all. Thank you.
Rick, we really appreciate those words that are very timely and very meaningful. We're very fortunate to, I can't call you Richard, I have to call you Rick. He worked with us, I guess, for about 10 weeks or so, and for our leadership skills, for our management, and I tell you, we there for a while, a day did not go by that your name wasn't mentioned after you completed the course, and
I'm sorry.
and some of it was good.
Some good. Okay.
Some was good.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But we did learn a lot, and it was very timely when Rick came in and gave our some of his words of wisdom to bring us to a new level that we're going to be working towards. And in healthcare, it's constant change as it is in the industry. I've seen more change in the last year than I have in the last 5 years. And there's probably been more change in healthcare in the last 5 years as they've been in the last 20. So that's how things are accelerating. And like you're talking about the laser surgery and a lot of things, and with Dr. Fan being a surgeon, he has seen technology improve to a level that's gone beyond expectations. 15, 17 years ago, we did not have in the state of Tennessee a CT scanning machine. And we have one of that piece of equipment here. We have a lot of that state-of-the-art equipment here, and we'll move ahead, and that will be with technology and with individuals like yourself. Rick, I've got a gift for you. Linda, I'd like for you to, for coming to us and speaking and a token of our appreciation. say, I guess I'll let just a little something, and I hope you can master this.
Uh-oh.
I thought you might appreciate the wrapping paper. That's as close to the money that you'll get from me again.
Oh, I meant to ask you about that last bill. Did you forget that? Let me see. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead and take that out.
Oh. He knows I try. Oh, yeah. He's listening. Big Bertha. This is for those that cannot golf but pretend that they can.
I know I've got one.
And it didn't help.
See, the larger, supposed to be able to find the ball with this larger. I'll let you know if it helps.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
The instruction in the literature, and it's true because I tried it, it says that you can take that club out and you can, on the tee box, and address the ball and swing with your eyes closed and knock it further than you ever have.
I'll let you know.
And I did that on the first time, but since then it's gone downhill.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I probably will have.
Great.
Thank you
Still
very
have
much.
money
Enjoy.
up here on the thing.
Oh, yeah, keep that.
Before we present the awards, I would like to, we have a video that some of you have seen, that we have our, we had a get-together when we had our 10-year anniversary, and I have a master copy of our video. It's a 10-year celebration of the Baptist Memorial Healthcare System in Memphis, which we're definitely a part of. And I would like to show it at this time, but before I show it, one thing I would like for you to look is we have a replica of the award pins that we give out to all of the employees. And as you'll hear on the video, Mr. Powell will explain what if you'll look on the awards pin, you'll see the triangle, which is symbolic of, that we use as our logo for the Baptist Memorial Healthcare System, which is an equilateral triangle, which symbolizes teaching, preaching, and healing. And then the square around it means that is all-encompassing. So one seminar that I went to, I heard an individual talk about different organizations, and the successful healthcare organizations are those that have religious meaning behind their logos. And with the Baptist Memorial Healthcare System, we have that. Something that I feel that it goes through all of our organization is with the golden rule, and I think that's been very much a part of our success story here, is that we treat others the way that we want to be treated ourselves. And I think you'll see this flow all the way through the video, and there's a lot of Baptist Lauderdale on this tape, and you'll also, when we taped it, we had difficulty. The doctors are busy, and we was able to get one doctor for a few minutes to be on the video, and then we tried to get some more, and we couldn't get any more physicians because they were all tied up busy, and we were hoping they were admitting patients to our hospital that day, which some of them were. But Randy King, you'll notice, will be in this video. He will be dressed in a different attire. And I've already talked with him about his dress code, and you'll see in this video. So with that, I'll go ahead and start our video. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll go ahead and make the presentations of our awards at this time. Our first recipient was Laboratory, Mary Miller. I don't know how Mary got 30 years of service with her only being 39. We're gonna have to check about the child labor law back then. Congratulations, Mary. Now, and also, before I forget it, at the end of the presentation, for everyone that receives an award, we'd like to have a group picture with everyone. Thank you. Now, I cannot read this with this smooth over. Let's see, something else that we do is a little bit different than other organizations, but we also have the department director come up and present the award to the employees since they work directly with the employees. So I'd like for Anna Bizzle to come up and help me present for 25 years of service, business office, George Tucker.
Thank you.
Sue Rose, I'd like to get you to come up and help me make a presentation for 20 years of service in the Department of Nursing, Lois Henning. Congratulations. For the Department of Radiology, Charlene Ward, 20 years. Fifteen years of service for the Department of Business Office, Anna Halliburton. Need Anna to present the same.
Show our camera. Thank you.
Thank you. 15 years of service, Department of Environmental Services, Pat Woodard. Congratulations. Fifteen years of service, Department of Home Health, Ann Osmond. Years of service for the Department of Nursing, May Bailey. Let me see. There you go. You need to be up here in the chair, don't you? Okay. 15 years of service, Department of Nursing, Brenda Osborne.
Program.
15 years of Congratulations. Thank you. That'll be one less blue dot I'll have to be standing in here trying to raise. Okay. For 5 years of service, Department of Engineering, Jerry Val. I didn't know Jerry was such a hand. Thank you. That concludes our presentation. But before we leave, I'd like to give some special thanks to our Board of Directors for their continued support through the year. And I'm also very grateful to Dr. Fan and to the medical staff for their high level of medical care that we have at this hospital. And I also appreciate you, the employee, and you, the supervisors, for your caring attitudes and the high quality of work that you have here at the hospital. I'm very proud of you. Thank you very much. Those of you receiving awards, we'll see if our camera will work one more time, and we'll have this published in the newspaper. That concludes our presentation. Thank you very much. Have a good night.